Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball Card Breaks. Today it's the Time Travel Tuesday edition in which we will be giving away this 1982 Topps Rack Pack. And so if you've followed the instructions, you are on my wheel of fun, and we'll be giving this away momentarily. Before this, we have the pregame in which I'm going to be opening this 1973 Topps so-called rack pack that I picked up off of Mercari. And as you can see, there's Hall of Famer Bob Gibson on the front, who, of course, recently passed away. And before we even get to that, I just want to throw out a couple things. On Saturday, this coming Saturday, I'll be opening these two boxes of 2021 Upper Deck Series 1 hockey. These just came out about a month ago, and we'll be opening those on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I picked up, for football Sunday, I picked up four jumbo packs of 2020 playoff. So we'll be opening these on Sunday, those on Saturday. And I also have this Topps Stadium Club Chrome blaster box that I picked up. And on the wheel of fun, there's an add a prize. And if it lands on add a prize, this will be the prize for the winner of my 1982 Topps baseball. So I'm going to put this aside for now, and we'll get to that if we need to. And otherwise, let's get to ripping. I just want to say thanks to everyone who's been following along all year. I hope everyone is going to have a great holiday season. I hope that if you've been nice, that Santa brings you what you want. And if you've been naughty, then you'll get what you deserve. Such as this person who sold me this rack pack from Mercari. I want to try to do this as gently as possible so that none of these cards get damaged. But yeah, this was not what I thought it would be when I bought it. So I'm trying to be gentle in case there is something really great inside. I don't have a good feeling about it. There we go. So we're going to start off. Yes, so these are repacks, and as you can see, there's a little bit of smudging from the ink there. The corners are pretty decent for a card this old. I mean, it's 47 years old. I was born in 1971, so I'm 49, and these are 47. So they look pretty good. The color is good, and you can see how they've airbrushed the logos on back then. So we're going to start off with Phil Hennigan. Oh, and then Dodgers catcher Steve Yeager. Steve Jägermeister, as I like to call him. And then we have White Sox second baseman Mike Andrews in those old school 70s Sox uniforms. I wonder who that number 33 is. If somebody can identify him, is that Yankees catcher Thurman Munson? It might be. And finally, Willie Montanez of the Phillies. I love these old inaction cards. I mean, this is about the time when they stopped just doing portraits of players, like with Phil Hennigan here. And they switched over to more action shots in which, I don't know. I mean, the framing is not great. There's a butt in the foreground, some guy standing around in the outfield. I mean, we're not going to criticize him for, early photography. So we're going to put those over here. And let's see. I'm going to gently cut this open with my new sharpened knife. Okay, there we go. Cut gently. Didn't cut my table topper there. Okay, so on the front here we see Sudden Sam McDowell, and it's the boyhood photo of the Stars. And there he is as a young man, and here he is as a old sideburn dude. And so that's a nice card. He had a pretty decent career for the Giants. Pretty well known for his era. We're going to put him aside over here. And then next we've got Dick Billings of the Texas Rangers. This was the first year of the Rangers coming over from the Washington Senators, and the second edition of the Washington Senators. And so Mr. Billings is a catcher. And then we're followed by Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Steve Blass, who I'm sure if you're a baseball historian, you'll know that he's the original pitcher who got the yips. It was called Steve Blass syndrome for a while, something that like Rick Ankiel had, or Mackie Sasser, the catcher, who couldn't throw the ball back to the pitcher, or Chuck Knobloch had a problem throwing from second to first. So it's a real deal. It happens. And Steve Blass was probably the first notable pitcher to go through that issue. And then LaRon Lee, outfielder for the Padres. All of these cards, I mean, they're in pretty good shape. This one is clearly off-centered, bottom to top. And so here we go getting to the main event with the Bob Gibson card, which I'm trying to carefully not cut into. So the Bob Gibson card is, this goes for anywhere from like $15 to $20. If it's in a PSA 10, which it's pretty well centered, it looks good, the color's good, I don't see any blemishes on it. So in a PSA 10, it goes for $700 to $800. So this might be worth grading. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments if you think this is something. It's not a 10. You can see right there. It's, the corner is not great, but even in a 9, it probably holds some decent value. So, oh, look at that behind Bob Gibson. Wow, what a crazy coincidence! It's Raleigh Fingers, and you may remember from a mailbag day that I did a while back. I purchased a Bob Gibson's autograph, and I also purchased a Raleigh Fingers autograph. So it's serendipity that they are back to back. That is followed by future Detroit Tigers catcher Bill Fahey. Here he is on the Texas Rangers. Solid looking card there, off right to left. And last but not least, Baltimore Oriole outfielder Merv Retmund. So we did get a couple Hall of Famers. Raleigh Fingers, who I believe this is coming off the year that they won the World Series in 1972. There's the backs of these cards. And he was 11-9 with 113 strikeouts, 2.51 ERA. So pretty solid pitcher. So, I don't think I'm going to get my money back out of that, but it was fun opening them up, and I'm happy to have the Bob Gibson and the Raleigh Fingers. So here we go. It's time for the main event here today. We're going to be opening these first, and then we'll see if we pull a Ripken out of here, and if we do, we'll get it sleeved up properly, and then we'll go over here to the Wheel of Fun on my computer, and we'll see who the winner of all these wonderful cards are. So we're going to start over here on the right side with Yaz, who, of course, is a Hall of Famer, and this is 82, so I believe he played for 2 more seasons after this. I could be wrong. No, I'm sorry, 82 was his last season, because I believe he was 40. Yeah. So there we go. So anyway, so we got the first Hall of Famer is Carl Ustremski. So that's a good start. And then we have Richie Zisk, who for me, he was my first Little League mitt was a Richie Zisk model. And he was a pretty poor outfielder, which is why he became a DH. So maybe that was why I was a terrible fielder as a child. And then we have Kenny Singleton, All-Star for the Baltimore Orioles. Larry Milbourne of the Yankees. Tom Paciorek, Wimpy, right? That's his nickname. He was the announcer for the White Sox. And then we have Dan Quisenberry, passed away at a young age from brain cancer, but he was a great closer for the Royals. And then we have Gene Richards of the San Diego Padres, speedy outfielder. Jose Morales, who listed as a DH, but he was mostly a pinch hitter, didn't get a lot of at-bats. Hey, there's our second Hall of Famer, Bruce Sutter of the St. Louis Cardinals. And there's Kong, Dave Kingman, I think a two-time home run champion. Once played for 4 teams in 1 year. I think that's on the back here. Yeah, look, 1977, he played for the Mets, the Padres, the Angels, and then finished up with the Yankees. So he ended up hitting 26 home runs in total for 4 different teams. It's pretty crazy, right? And then there's Al Oliver, almost got to 3,000 hits, probably deserves a little bit of Hall of Fame credibility. And then Rick Burleson, longtime Red Sox on the Angels. Davey Lopes, speedy second baseman for the Dodgers. And Gene Tennis, was he the MVP for the A's in the World Series? I believe so. So it's Gene Tennis finishing up his career in the Cardinals. And there's Steve Kemp, Detroit Tigers. I love that card. He was a pretty solid outfielder. I think this was the last year before we traded him to the White Sox. Yeah, he had a pretty rough year. Oh, that was 81, so that was the strike year. But you can see he had back-to-back 100 RBI seasons for Detroit. And there's Joe Niekro, brother of Phil Niekro, Hall of Famer, and a pretty solid starter in his own right. And lastly, we end with Fergie Jenkins, Hall of Famer, pitched for many, many teams. So we got 3 Hall of Famers in there. We got Fergie, we got Bruce Sutter, put him in the Hall of Fame pile. And then finally, we also got, Yaz. So that's not a bad start. 3 Hall of Famers in the first section. And we're going to dig into the second section here. Still looking for the Cal Ripken card. The Ripken card also has Bob Bonner on it. And Bonner was actually the preferred minor league prospect for the Orioles. And he was supposed to play short, and then Cal Ripken originally was a third baseman. But Earl Weaver, who was in his final year as the manager of the Orioles, he said, I think we have a better prospect. But he's like, Bob Bonner is a quality player, but I think Cal Ripken's the one that's going to have the longer career. And there you go. I was paraphrasing there, but that's what he basically said. And he certainly had a much longer career than Bob Bonner ever did. So we're starting off with an Al Oliver in action card. Al Oliver, great hitter in his time. And then here's George Capizzello. If you follow my 1980 Detroit Tigers season replay, you'll know that I have George Capizzello on that team, and he's killing it for me there. But definitely 1 or 2 years in the majors, and that was all he had. And here we have our 4th Hall of Famer, Brewers. Paul Molitor played all over the infield, but basically became a DH and spent the latter part of his career as a DH. And then he became the manager of the Minnesota Twins. He is from St. Paul, so that was a homecoming for him. And we have a Tiger great, Milt Wilcox, pitcher in the 84 World Series, and played for the Tigers since 1980. He came on board about the time that Sparky Anderson did. So we like and respect him. And there's another Hall of Famer. We're doing all right. There's Carlton Fisk in action, diving to catch a pop-up, maybe a bunt attempt. And so we like that card a lot. So 5 Hall of Famers so far. Still looking for Cal Ripken Jr. There's Danny Meyer. He was a Detroit Tiger prospect, played for us for a couple years. And we got rid of him in the expansion draft to the Mariners. And Jason Thompson took over first base. And there's a long-time fantastic hitter, Reggie Smith, played for a lot of teams. But here he is with the Dodgers. Terry Poole played on those light-hitting Astros teams in the Astrodome that was all about speed and not power. Dick Davis, another hitter, bounced around quite a bit. And there's Ken Griffey Sr. in action, playing for the Big Red Machine. And looks like maybe got a base hit there. Dave Chalk. I really only know Dave Chalk from the Angels. I didn't realize he even played for the Royals, but he was a 70s, early 80s hitter. There's Dave Palmer, once pitched a 6-inning no-hitter. It was a rain delay no-hitter. It doesn't really count, but it happened. So there's Dave Palmer. Mitchell Page from the Oakland A's. Decent hitter back in that era. Stan Poppy, not Big Poppy, Stan Poppy. He got a cup of coffee with the Tigers and a few other teams, mostly as a pinch hitter. There is El Presidente, Denny Martinez. He, of course, pitched a perfect game from Nicaragua. He's like a legend down there. Former Detroit Tiger Mark Wagner, wrapping up his career with the Rangers. And slugger Bob Horner for the Atlanta Braves. All right, we're down to our last sleeve here, our last section of the rack pack. And then we're going to go over and see who the lucky person is to win all these. And then I'll leave my email in the comments below. And if you can just email me your address, whoever the winner is, and we'll get these out to you. I want to get them to you by Christmas so that you have a little Christmas present from Brainiac Baseball. So we're starting off with Randy Martz. I don't know anything about this guy. Not really familiar with him at all. But he's a pitcher, so maybe I'm guessing he probably didn't stick around too long. And Rance Mullinick's probably more known for his time with the Blue Jays. Keith Drumright, I don't know, second baseman for the A's. He must have been a guy that just got into a few. This is his rookie card. So you got a cup of coffee maybe in September. Bert Campaneris, A's legend, finishing up his career with the California Angels. California back then. Oops. Mike Lum, looking kind of glum in that photograph. There's shortstop Bill Russell, won the World Series for the Dodgers back in the day. And John D'Acquisto, pitcher for the Angels. Bob McClure, pitcher for the Brewers. Mike Cubbage. Mostly remember him, I guess, on the Royals, right? Twins, that's it. He was a Twinkie. Luis Aguayo, second baseman for the Phils. Brian Asseltine, outfielder for the Braves. We're coming down to the final cards here, guys. Rafael Landestoy, infielder for the Reds. Ray Searage, relief pitcher for the Mets. Joe Strain for the Cubbies. One card left. Jim Cott, pitcher for the Cardinals. Pretty decent hitter as well. and maybe deserves some Hall of Fame consideration. And last but not least, another Mike Lem that makes me glum to get two Mike Lems in one sleeve, but I guess that tells you about the collation as we look for the other Lem. There you go. Two Lems for the price of one. Okay, guys. So just a quick recap here, then we'll go see who the winner is. We got a bunch of Hall of Famers. We got Carlton Fisk. We got Paul Molitor. Got Yaz, Bruce Sutter, and finally Fergalicious Jenkins. So we'll get those properly sleeved, and let's slide on over to the Wheel of Fun, and we'll see who the winner is. Again, if it lands on the add a prize, then you will, in addition to the rack pack, you will win the Stadium Club Chrome blaster box. So here are the entries. We have S. Ambush. We have Ronak Saraya. We have Baseball Fan 75. Kent from Kent's Cards. Zona Mess. We have Baseball Card Illustrated. Dave at Not Your Status Quo. We have Collectorholic. Abraham Cruz. Hoss of Cards. Mike Myers, and Angry Old Man. And so what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle these one time, because I believe this was the same lineup from the last contest I gave away, which was the 89 Fleer. And two of the people who won packs did not contact me, and so I took them off the list. If you're not willing to participate in something for free, then you're probably not paying attention. So, you don't get to win. That's the way I look at it anyway. So here we go. We're going to shuffle it one time. Bloop. Okay. And now we're ready to see who the big winner is of the 1982 Topps Rack Pack. 3, 2, 1. Bloom. And there we go, getting dizzy. So there's 13 contestants here total. And let's see if it lands on add a prize. Doesn't look like it's going to make it back around. And could it be Abraham Cruz? It is Abraham. Abraham lives here in El Paso. So congratulations, Abraham. You have been the recipient of the 1982 Topps Rack Pack. And so I will leave that up to you. If you want to come down to the store, you could pick that up with your other cards that I have waiting for you. And if not, I'll be glad to mail it to you. That is totally fine as well. So you just let me know in the comments, and we'll head back over here. And so thanks to everyone. I want to say happy holidays to all of you, whatever you celebrate, as long as it's with friends and family. That's all that matters. And I will be back this weekend on Saturday to open the Upper Deck Hockey Series 1 that just came out. And then on Sunday, we will open the playoff 2020 football. So until then, everyone, have a great week.